This is Manjula, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce from St.Josephs College of Arts and Science for Women, Osur. Today we have to see the topic about royalty accounts. First, we see what is royalty. Royalty is the periodical payment based on the output or sale made by one person called the leasee to another person called the leaser. For taking out an lease the special rights vested with the leaser. For instance, the periodical consideration based on output made by the leasee of a mine or patent to the leaser or landlord or paternity. Royalty account is the nominal account. It is an expenses for the lessee who pays it. If the royalty is based on output, it is considered as manufacturing expenses and it is transferred to production or trading account. If the transfer if the royalty is based on sale, it is considered as selling expenses and it is transferred to profit or loss account. For the leaser who receives the royalty, royalty is an income, hence it is credited to leaser account. Next, let us see what is minimum rent. Minimum rent is the minimum guaranteed amount which the lessee is required to pay to the leaser in the year of no output or low output. Payment of minimum rent arises only when the royalty calculated is less than the minimum rent. If royalty is more than the minimum rent, there is no question of payment of minimum rent. Minimum rent is also known as deed rent, fixed rent, rock rent, and flat rent. Minimum rent is a predetermined and mutually agreed between leaser and lessee. Normally, minimum rent is applicable only on the first 1 year or a few years of the agreement when actual production may not have reached normal level. For example, the minimum rent is rupees 50,000, the actual royalty on production is rupees 40,000. The difference of 50,000 and 40,000 is rupees 10,000 is a short working. Next, we have to see what is short working. Short working is the excess of minimum rent over actual royalty. Short working is the amount by which the minimum rent exceeds actual royalty. Short working is calculated at the agreed rate on the actual output or sale is less than the minimum rent. Where there is a short working, the lessee is liable to pay the minimum rent. Next, we have to see about short workings recoupment. Any short working in the previous year is recoverable at any surplus royalty for proceeding year by agreement. The process of adjustment of short working against surplus of royalty is called recoupment of short working. Next important terms. Royalty. A periodic payment which may be based on a sale or output is called royalty. Royalty is payable by the lessee of a mine to the leaser, by publisher of the book to the author of the book, by manufacturer to the paternity, etc. Landlord or the person who have the legal rights on mine or quarry or patent right or copy book rights. Tenant, an author or publisher, lessee or patenter who takes out rights, usually commercial or personal rights, from the owner on lease against the consideration is called tenant. Right of recouping. It may contain in the royalty agreement that excess of minimum rent paid over the actual royalty may be recoverable in the subsequent years. So, when the royalty is exits of the minimum rent is called the right of recoupment of short workings. Right of recoupment will be decided for the fixed period or for the floating period. When the right of recoupment is fixed for the certain starting years from the date of royalty agreement, it is said to be fixed or restricted. On the other hand, when the lessee is eligible to recoup the short workings in the next 2 or 3 years, short working to 2 or 3 years from the year of its commencement, it is said to be floating. Short working will be shown shown on the asset side of balance sheet up to allowable year of recouping. After that, it will be transferred to profit and loss account. Lease premium, an extra payment in addition to royalty, if any, paid by leasee to leaser, is called lease premium and will be treated as capital expenditure, and it will be written off on yearly basis through profit and loss account as per the suitable method. Thank you.